we'll do one of these.
This is the high school. I know how it goes. Yes.
All right. Bam. Come on. And then we are here for the boom. Jackie Buckingham in the house.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thanks for coming.
Good morning.
Well, for those that don't know, thank you for, by the way, because I didn't have to hustle you too hard. Some people I have to.
Yeah.
Come on. I planted the seed a while back.
Yep. Just looking to see where it kind of fit in. I'm kind of go with the flow type person.
Yep.
So.
And for those that don't know this beautiful woman, she is the owner and founder of 2 amazing businesses in Flagler Beach, yes. A wife and a mother. Mm-hmm. And the businesses are the Scent to Remember, which you've opened. How long ago was that now?
Oh my goodness. We started out with Kayla at one of her holiday markets just about 3.5, maybe 4 years ago.
Feels like yesterday still.
Yeah.
And then recently, which we're going to get into, is the new business that you guys have been culminating, which is the Flagler Tea.
Yes, it has been a dream of my husband's for a while. So we decided it was time to have that dream come true. He's been waiting a while for that.
So from the top, I remember when I met you guys, Kokomo's was still kicking.
Yes.
And that was like my living room.
Yes, that was our drive. We love Kokomo's.
So you guys opened, and I remember what a unique scene it was, because for those that don't know what the Flagler Scent to Remember is, it's a wonderful place that you have. First of all, the jive in there is phenomenal. Like the flow and the feel and the feng shui is amazing. But you guys specialize in oils and things of that nature, right?
Yes.
So why don't you tell
the aromatherapy that we do, it's not just the normal run-of-the-mill aromatherapy that you hear out there from a lot of companies. It's more of just creating that scent that you like that makes you feel good. Mm-hmm. So we try to keep our stuff pretty natural. We cater to a lot of people that have like allergies and stuff. We custom make everything in there. So we hand make it. If somebody is allergic to our coconut, a lot of our stuff is coconut based, we can special make it for them.
That's what I loved about you guys when you first opened, and it was if you didn't have dialogue, which by the way, if you haven't had dialogue with you or your awesome husband, for those that are listening, get some dialogue, because you guys are phenomenal. Like super chill, very knowledgeable, and very just like real. So I remember, first of all, that I'm like, my crack is that lotion that you guys make.
the body butter.
It's a body butter that you guys make. So my wife got me probably like 2-3 bottles ago, and I use it. And it's funny, no matter where I go, people are like, you smell like cookies. But I love it because it's natural. Yeah. And it's the list goes on and on and on. But I started using it. I think as we become more and more educated as consumers, mm-hmm. we're realizing the dyes that are in things, the
parabens,
all this stuff, the scents, all that jazz. And Camille is my wife, holds me to, like, she's making sure everything we're using and buying
with her family.
So she fell in love with your guys' product, but I use it for everything now, But that's has in parallel with what you're saying. This is one of the things I had asked him. I was like, don't ever get rid of this now, please. But I love you guys for that you guys are actually making it. Yeah. So it's not just, for those that are listening, this isn't just like a reseller of because the oil scene's weird. You know what I mean? It can get a little weird.
It is.
So what do they call it? Multi-level market.
The multi-marketing company.
None of that.
It's multi-level marketing company. No. My husband actually went to school for almost 2.5 years to get his master's in aromatherapy. I have a certificate in aromatherapy as well as a bachelor's in nutrition science. So we are well educated. Sometimes you will run into some of the selling companies. They have the education that they give their people, but it's not quite in line with the holistic of aromatherapists, the National Association that we teach under. So it's just little odds and ends here, but we always promote the use of oils. And hey, if something's working for you, then why change it? Yeah, amen. And I think what's interesting is there's too much, we could go on and on about the show about how the benefits are, but the oil has changed. The oil's use, I guess you could say, like whether you're using it and you're diffusing it, mm-hmm. or the application of it when it's like yesterday, I had an upset tummy. And Camille gave me some, I don't know what it is, but I call her the witch doctor now. She's like, just knowing what can do, what oils do what.
and then some that you have to use like carrier oils and stuff. See, I'm not
Correct.
bad, see?
Yeah, you've been learning.
But you guys
Yes.
I find that to be just like with any business and any kind of entity, when the owners kind of practice what they preach, it's special, you know?
Is.
And you guys really have that.
It's not just, okay, well, I'm trying to sell a product. I actually believe in the product that
Right.
we use, and knowing the differences of a safe oil, or if it's going to interact with a medication, or if it's going to interact with your animals,
Right.
is something else that we try to let people know too. And just education. I mean, that's mainly what we're about, is just educating and helping out.
You guys are passionate. What would you say, because you know all this was unpremeditated.
Yeah.
What would you say is some of the misconceptions, like as this genre is becoming more and more knowledgeable, and as I would say as all these types of medicines are becoming more accepted and not this weird outlook on them, what would you say? Is there some common denominators of people still the misinterpretation of oils? Do people come in and like, because you're there, like if people come in, they're like, what is there still a lot of confusion? There
is still a lot of confusion that, you know, oils are great for everything and you can use it for everything. You can eat it for everything. You can put it on everything. And that's not exactly true. You do have to be careful with oils. I can't speak for other people's oils, but our oils are very strong and potent. One drop is anywhere from 30 to 60 cups of medicinal tea. So it's very highly concentrated. And the way that essential oils are made is the plant itself is excreting those essential oils to either protect theirself or to call another pollinator or to send out messages to them. So depending on the season, from season to season, that amount of essential oil and the concentration of it can be different from growing season to growing season. So it's good to make sure that those oils are being tested with each batch, because what the active ingredient in one oil from last year, that same oil the next growing season could be completely different.
That is interesting.
So where it could have taken 3 or 4 drops to get to that medicinal level last time, this time it may only need 1.
Wow.
So you could end up overdosing.
So because we're dealing with a natural situation,
yes.
If someone's harvesting, let's just say lavender, which is an easy one to, like, you're saying that the potency and the overall medicinal factor could be completely, it's still there, but the potency, we don't really ever know because we're dealing with a natural situation.
Right.
Wow, that's fascinating. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's crazy because I would have never thought of it either. I was like, oh, yeah, it's lavender. You know, all lavenders are the same. But we found out there's actually a bunch of different genuses of lavender, and each one of them has just a little bit difference. And I found out when I first started learning that and my husband, he actually was the one that brought it to my attention from one of his classes. There's actually a spike lavender. There's an energizing lavender that can actually cause contraindications with somebody like with heart problems or with seizures even.
Wow.
Yeah.
So once again, bringing emphasis to it's not just a purple bottle that says lavender and it's a universal thing.
Yeah.
What's the spike one? Is there something that we want to steer away from that?
It depends on what you're using it for.
Okay.
The spike lavender is good for certain situations. It's not one of our normal ones because you think of lavender as relaxing.
Right.
So we don't really carry that one.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say lavender is more of the chill one.
Yeah.
I like the actual plant too.
Yes.
Camille has the actual, like, they're pretty.
Yeah.
Little pretty plants.
They're very pretty. And you can use it with cooking and we have it for tea. We work hand in hand with Lavender Farms and upstate New York with their culinary lavender for our tea.
See this. So we're probably going to flip back and forth.
Probably. They kind of go back and forth between the two together.
Once again, one of the things that if you haven't been in the shop, then you're missing out, because I've gotten to see the building process, and what I've found most enjoyable is the passion behind it. Just because I love hearing a lot of businesses on a daily basis. I love when I just hear the passion. Passion, what excites me. And not only am I excited for the end result, but to see like Dawn and you guys like building this thing out and coming in and the ideas. And you guys are just so chill and so open about it. You go like, what do you think should be here? What you guys were looking for input. And I think it was so, I don't know, it just makes you feel loved. So
it's a community effort.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been in this community for 8 years. We have been here. And I think having that input of the community, because we do live here, we work together, we're a family.
Well, you guys came right in. You guys like fit right in. It really did. And I think a lot of it is the byproduct of you, just, I don't know, you fell in love with it and we fell in love with you guys. And for those that don't know, in the back of the shop now, when you walk into Scent to Remember, on the back to the left, you can't miss it now. There's no more tarp.
Miss it now.
You guys have the first ever, correct me if I'm wrong, is it the first ever tea company now in Flagler? No, there is a tea.
First one.
Get out of town.
There has been a couple of tea houses here.
But they're not.
Not now.
Okay.
No, not now. We are the only tea bar currently in Flagler County.
Love it.
Yeah.
So now this is like for my kind of listener, meaning like I wouldn't know what this really means. But I'm learning. You guys aren't just like putting tea out. You guys are like brewing this tea. There's tons of
fresh.
So I'm going to let you take that part because I don't want to butcher it. But I know you guys are making it. And to talk about passion, I mean, go talk with Don about this tea. Forget about it.
He's done his research.
Amazing.
Up and down. Education. He's such an inquisitive person. He wants to know how everything works. And so he takes that and he has a lot of passion about it. He talks directly with the farms that the teas are coming from. And he goes straight to them, cut out the middleman in the process.
So if I walked in right now, what do we have? Because I know it's going to change, I'm sure, with seasons and availability and stuff. But right now we walk in, what can a consumer or a customer get right now if they walked in for this tea genre if you didn't know?
If you don't know what you want, then we just start out, hey, do you want caffeine or no caffeine? We've got 40 different choices. We can mix and match. So I kind of describe us as like a bar, but without the alcohol. And we only do teas. So we can mix and match them. That's 40? Usually my first thing. Yeah. Wow, yes. And he keeps adding. He gets so excited and passionate about his teas. And it's nice.
So first question, caffeine or not?
Yep. Caffeine or no caffeine.
Okay.
And then we go from there. So either if you want caffeine, blacks, greens, or oolongs. We also have one white right now. And then we go if you want fruity or minty or just a regular black. And we've got a lot of choices. So right now our blacks that we have is a Camille. It comes from China. It's a really good house tea for us. Any day of the week you can get it for $2 for a 12-ounce ice, sweet or not. Okay. We always have that ready to go.
Don't worry about that, by the way, because they can only hear what's in. There's an alarm going off. We're live.
For our grams that come in, we have some special pricing for them because they're, our kids, our future.
That's part of our town.
That's right.
For those that aren't listening, a gram is a small surfer dude.
Yep, a small surfer dude. Yeah. So we have some things for them. Then we also have our Misty Moors of Scotland, which is a blend of 4 teas. They're estate teas, single estates. So that particular tea leaf comes from that one farm, nowhere else. Not a blend of a couple different farms. It's just that one farm. So we've taken 4 of the most particular teas, I guess you could say, and put those into one blend. Amazing. And the reason why he calls it Misty Moors of Scotland is because when you shake it to ice it, it becomes cloudy like the mist.
Is this the one I've been seeing you guys have the photos on Facebook?
That one, I believe, is the one with the tea latte. Oh. So in the glass with the mist in it. Yes.
It's very marketable. Yeah. For you guys.
We've been having a lot of fun with it. I've never been in food service before, so this is my first time, and I'm like, this is so fun.
It looks really cool. I've tagged the Facebook pages on businesses, but when at any point when you guys listen to this show, definitely check out. Probably out if you haven't posted one recently of that photo. It's so cool. It's like a galaxy looking tea. So I'm sure that's going to help. Like I said, the marketing aspect, even if they don't know the benefits of drinking it. Yep. Pretty neat.
It just tastes good. Hey, if it tastes good, it's going to make you feel good. And I mean, so you don't have to be educated in tea to like tea. And even if you don't like tea and you're a coffee drinker, there's probably something in there that you will probably like.
So with you too, is one of the options, is it cold or hot, or are they all one? So you can get cold or hot.
Cold or hot. We brew it right there. It usually takes anywhere from 3 to 10 to 15 minutes, depending on which tea it is that you want to brew. And then we also have the Gallery of Local Art and Coquinos, and now the Pineapple Gallery is open. So you can explore through the building. We're all interconnected while you're waiting for your tea to brew. So it's nice.
Are you guys all getting along?
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
If you haven't been down there, so this shop is, we'll probably cover this again in the show, but so you have the location where, basically where the art gallery is. Well, is it fair to say it's an art gallery? Yeah.
Yes.
The art gallery, it's all connected.
Yeah.
So it's basically right behind the pier, right behind the Flagler Beach Museum, bada bing. And then you've got this beautiful little and I love what you guys did with the seating arrangement.
Yes.
You guys cool that we call and sit there like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
We promote it.
I love
it. We want people to come there and just hang out and talk
it's
to
very
each other.
comfy.
Yes.
So they've got chairs and couches throughout that whole area now.
Yes.
And you can grab the tea.
Yeah.
You can do a little shopping. You can grab a juice from
Corey's. Yep.
and then go sit down.
Yeah.
You guys are so chill about that too, because I've brought a couple
yeah.
people and they're like, "Are they going to be okay that we're sitting here?" I'm like,
definitely,
because it helps bring. For every third person I bring, they're like, "I don't know what this is." I'm like, "Get in there, like, just go in there, walk around,
just explore."
The soaps alone,
yeah.
You got to be careful because sometimes I want some of those soaps.
We have had people almost eat
sure.
our soap, yeah, especially the samples that are up on the counter. They'll look like fudge or
so
candy,
good.
And they smell good.
So there we go. Flip on the other side. So in the front of it, back to the center. Remember, you've got your oils and aromatherapies. You've got soaps, which are delicious looking.
Yeah.
And then you got all those back to the lotion thing. No joke, honestly, Jackie. That's
the body butter, our whipped body butter. Oh my goodness! I started out making just coconut. For the creams, and it kind of evolved into that. It probably took me a good 6 months to come up with that formula.
Don't ever stop it.
No, I had to write that one down. That is
which one did you sell? What you said the one that sells the best is the lavender one, though. I think didn't you say?
As far as I have two sides. So I have my fun side that has a phthalate-free fragrance. Now, if you're not sure what phthalates are, that's the carcinogen properties of a lot of the fragrance oils, and they've been known cancer causers. Wow. So we make sure that our fragrance oils that we do use are what's called a nearly natural fragrance. So they'll take the chemical compounds from all of these natural sources and they'll blend them together to make a new scent.
I got you.
So it's not completely natural, but it's derived from natural sources. So we have that as our fun side, and then we have our essential oil side. So our completely aromatherapy.
Is that where I'm getting?
That is what you are getting. So the lavender body butter, yes, that uses our fair trade lavender. We used to use our Cape lavender in that one, and unfortunately, the Cape lavender is now extinct.
I think Don was telling me about that last time we talked.
We have a few bottles of it left, and then we have some in our vault that we have found to be our most medicinal one, and that is. We have that setback for a couple of our clients that use that for certain things.
Is that the one that it burnt down or something?
Yes.
Wow.
So in Cape Town, South Africa, they had a huge wildfire that ended up wiping out the entire source for the Cape lavender. It was a wild lavender that grew wildly. And from what I understand, you can't propagate it for it to grow again. The rhizomes, it grew from the roots itself. So the roots were damaged in the fire as well. And then right after that, they had a pretty huge drought. So they haven't seen any growth again.
Now, these aren't things from a novice perspective, because this is hearing you talk about this is extremely fascinating.
Yeah.
Because
it's very
you're using
fascinating.
terminology and I'm like, what in the world? So, but it's great. I love how knowledgeable you are about it. So we can't just grow this. I can't just go plant a lavender.
Not that particular lavender, no.
Because of just because of the geographic area and the soil. I mean, what is
it's the root itself. So like you have your let me see, like your irises. So irises, they grow from that root, and you have to split them and take that root and then plant it somewhere else. So it's not actually the seed that you're taking and replanting it.
So it requires physically having, and that's the issue.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Yeah.
So now you guys have like a small little bit left that you're saving just in case.
Just in case, we have I think we have like 1 or 2 ounces that is saved, sealed, and waxed, and it's in our vault. That way, if it comes about that there's a scientist or something that can use that to reconstruct or redo that lavender and all of its properties that they're able to. And then we have a couple of the smaller bottles for different clients that use it for different particular things. And then, of course, one of our proprietary blends is our Go to Bed blend. That one uses the Cape lavender as well. And we have found some of our clients use that for their Alzheimer's and dementia. And the support group here uses it too.
Dementia.
Yes.
Tangent.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just saw that there is a company. So I guess dehydration is one of the biggest killers of dementia.
Can be.
And amongst other issues because of like not feeding, et cetera. And then, but one of the biggest things is dehydration because they lose the sense of thirst. And then even to get them to drink is one of the hardest things to do. So there's a company out there, and I don't know the name of it, but they've invented this very...
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they're like
those
little drops,
bubbles.
little bubbles. And
they're like little candies.
it looks, I guess it's giving the patient and the person dealing with it the more apt to like, I want it, eating it, and then they're getting the water. But on that topic, that's something that's very dear because I've had family members that are suffering from it, friends that are, I think everybody knows somebody suffering from it, which is really just sucks. It's just like
it's a
cancers
really
and all these things are just so annoying. And I guess what bothers all of us is it's the ignorant fact, like we don't know, like why is this happening? And how to cure it. But are you seeing I'm sure this is a very long laundry list of stuff they can do, but is there kind of on the topic of dementia, just because you brought it up, is there some things that like a particular oil or regimen that people could start to stimulate?
So that was the thesis that my husband did for school was on Alzheimer's and dementia. Go figure. And they had found in the research that rosemary and lemon being diffused during the daytime helps with cognitive ability.
Interesting.
So a lot of the memory cares are using that now. There's a memory care unit, I can't remember the name of it, in Jacksonville and also over here at the Windsor that are using the lemon and the rosemary during the daytime. And the Windsor is now using our My Go to Bed blend in the evening. Yeah.
So those two, once again, amongst other things that it could do, those two oils, those specifically when combined and using in a diffuser, for those, I keep looking over there because we have people are like, what is he looking at? But so when you put those in there, because once again, this is all stuff that I had for those that are listening, I still don't have no idea how to do it. So go see, still go talk to you about it. But not only do you have those oils, but you actually have you'll help them and teach them because it's not just, I'm sure there's like quantities and drops, etc. So don't be afraid because I would be super afraid. I'd be like, I'm going to blow up my house. But these are fantastic because the silver lining to this entire thing is that the side effects are it smells good. You're not going to I'm excluding obviously too if they have like some kind of skin irritation or something, but if you're once you've had some dialogue with them and they're asking you and it's saying, hey, well, don't put it on your pet, this is for the diffuser, so to speak, but it's fantastic.
Especially lemon, if you put it onto the skin and you go out in the sun, you can actually get like a 2nd or 3rd degree burn.
Really? Is that the one that needs a carrier oil too?
Even with the carrier oil, the lemon can. Lemon and regular bergamot. So we have a bergantine free. That's the makeup in that bergamot, which is a citrus that can cause that dermal burn. So what happens is you go out into the sun and you've got lemon on your skin and the rays from the sun will intensify that. Right. And you can get that burn. You've probably seen some on the internet of different pictures of, I was burned by this.
I haven't.
No. Okay.
But you're in that scene.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Sometimes you'll see it, but not too often anymore. There's been a lot of new education that's been coming out, so I'm happy about that.
Is there any ones off the top of your head that you can think of that are you're seeing people becoming more educated and aware of the fact that once again, whether it's dementia or there are other things that people and ailments that could be dealing with that are not, once again, these are by all means too, I'm not preaching, and I don't think you guys have this isn't like it's going to fix you.
No.
These are just things that will help aid and kind of help.
It's complementary.
It can't hurt. But once again, we're not talking about a pill and a prescription and a jing jing palm. These are natural remedies that are going to help at least find some comfort and dealing with it. Yeah. But are there other things off the top of your head? Like for instance, me with my tummy. Do you know what I use? Maybe do you have an idea? Was it? I wonder what she used.
Do you know what brand she uses?
I don't.
Okay.
She's doing her own witch doctor thing.
like peppermint can help
Yeah.
with the tummy. I think there's a couple of blends out there that might be for the tummy. So just a carrier oil, and sometimes even the direction that you rub the tummy can help.
Get out of
depending on
town.
it. Yeah.
Really?
For certain things that I can't remember which ones it is, but there's one of them is you go counterclockwise, and then for something else you go clockwise.
So this gets pretty
just
in
depends.
depth here.
Yes. Well, it's all energy.
Yeah, it is true.
So
Growing up when I was younger, you hear energy, and it comes off very just comes off weird.
Yeah.
And then as you get older, and I'm saying just older because you're looking for those that I'm becoming surrounded with that are like-minded, trying to figure out how to just take care of yourself, longevity, and sleeping well at night, and all that aspects of life. It's really true, man. You hang out with some poopy people, you feel poopy, right?
Yes.
It's like it, and whether you want to call it energy there is some kind of, there's something going on, and it's true. And it trickles into like all things of life, like I found it very interesting that, I don't know. So whether it doesn't even have to, whether it's an oil, whether it's a walk, whether it's a high five, whether it's a prayer, you got to find some kind of jive. And then there's all these added bonuses like the extra, the outside, the extraordinary things that you can do. And it's fascinating because, for instance, even like headaches, right? I used to deal with those so bad. I used to have migraines. Yeah, you were.
Yes.
Were you a headache or a migraine? I think
it was a cluster migraine.
What's a I don't even know.
The clusters, they would come a couple of days and then be the real bad migraine, and then a couple of days just a headache, and then right back into the migraine.
I was a migraine dude, I think. Just where once it started, the noise, the light.
Oh yeah, the sensitivity. Yes.
But by painstakingly stop trying to like band-aid it. I think I paid for whatever company owns Excedrin's like yacht for sure. Like
I hear you.
Almost 10 plus years ago, I was like Excedrin's
Advil
and that stuff hurt me bad. I had a really scary story where I got super sick, and I literally have told this story a few times, but it took a dude, a holistic guy, Dr. Limnooney, Adam at Flagler Chiropractic. Here he is, just a chiropractor dude. But one day, finally, I just was headaches, this, that. And he has like, what's your diet?
Yep.
And after the first 2 times, I still didn't even like my diet. I'm like, I don't do anything. Like my diet's fine. I never took drugs, right? I thought I didn't take any medicine. So I thought, no, I'm fine. So you don't really even tell people. Well, finally, one day I was over here chilling, and he saw me popping these Excedrin and was like, bro, what are those? I said, oh, these are for my...
Yeah, they're over the counter. They should be fine.
I'll never forget, Jackie, he pulled over the scroll on the back of those. If you don't know on any medicine, by the way, people that are listening, if you got to take them, you got to take them. I understand. So I'm not trying to sound like, no Gandhi over here. Like, don't take them. But you got to realize there's always an after effect.
Correct.
He
just
opened the
double check,
scroll.
do your research.
I couldn't believe the scroll on the little bottle. Because I kept buying the little ones.
It's all folded up in there.
And he opens it and it like hit the ground. It was like a CVS receipt. And I'm like, dude. And it literally basically said in English, this is why you're dying. Because like my insides were just falling apart. But point is, take a step, everybody, to just chill and realize like everything what goes in's got to come out. And I didn't realize it. But that's where these oils and just dietary in general become such a... Do you do a lot of consuming of oils?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Just because when you consume oils, you gotta be careful. So we, in our teaching and our education, we were taught with the National Holistic of Aromatherapist Board that if you are going to ingest oils, to work very closely with a naturopath or a homeopath that is highly trained in ingesting oils. Okay. Depending on how you're ingesting them, it can burn the esophagus. It can cause the liver or kidney shutdown because it's very easy to overdose if it is a pure oil.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's never been in my routine.
Yeah.
Nor I don't think Camille's either, like actual ingestion of an oil. Most of it's on
the topical. Yeah. And there isn't when it's done carefully and it's for a particular problem and you're underneath of the care of somebody that's highly trained in that and they can monitor it closely, it's okay for certain things. But you've got to find that person that's highly trained in that can monitor you and knows the signs to look for.
Fascinating. Do you have like your go-tos? What are your top, like Jackie's top? Like if I needed some oils.
Well, I have a nasal inhaler that I use when I start
Okay.
getting some sinus problems, and it is our open air blend.
Okay.
And I put a little bit of oregano on there just because I'm prone to sinus infections.
Okay.
So that's usually what I'll do.
So you make your own.
Yeah.
Chukachum?
Yep. Well, it's like you remember when, who was it? Oh, I can't remember. Vicks, I think it was. They had those little nasal sticks.
I do remember. They
Remember
like a little
those?
thing. Okay,
And
so
you
you're not
just,
like spraying
no,
it.
not
You're
a
like
spray.
putting it up there.
It's just a cotton
I
wick
know.
inside of it, and you
Yep.
just smell it.
So you have the
Yeah.
oil. You're putting it, and so it's got oregano.
And then our open air blend. Oh, it has.
I'm putting you on the
like,
spot.
I know.
What is it?
I don't make it, so that's the
Oh,
thing.
okay, okay.
Johnny makes these. It has.
It's okay if you don't know
like
exactly which one,
peppermint in
but
it, and it has.
I'm sure a lot of stuff that's
lavender and I think
Vic-ish.
frankincense.
Okay.
And stuff. Yeah, a lot of good oils in there.
So you put
I don't know
that
off
in.
the top of my head.
It's okay, but you put that in. So it's a lot of the ones that are just.
It's for opening the sinuses and calming that down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And then
that's
the
when you have
oregano
on
gives
your.
a little bit of oomph for if there is something bacterial.
Gotcha.
Or viral.
So that's on your like handy dandy.
Yes,
ready
that
to go.
is in my purse. Yeah.
Okay. What else we got?
What else do I have in my purse? Calming piece. So like
Okay.
if I start getting stressed out or if I get nervous or anxious, that's my go-to to help just say, it's time to chill.
Right.
You know? Om is another one of my favorites. That is a good one for grounding.
Is that the actual name of
the blend that he's
wow.
created? Yeah.
Yes.
It has bergamot, sweet orange, and patchouli in it.
I love it.
That's one
Don's
of my
like so excited when you're getting them right. Like, yeah.
And then our muscle blend it's a roller. So I get a lot of muscle tension in my neck, and I'll use that.
Does it have eucalyptus?
It does not.
Oh,
it actually
okay.
has wintergreen in it.
Oh, I knew it was one of those ones.
Yeah. One of
so
the
after you
camphor
roll it on, it
ones.
probably gets all like warm and tingly ish.
Not really.
Or like it feels probably cooler. It's
A little bit cooler,
effect.
but not really much of anything. It's more about what you don't feel because the oils go into the skin. Right. About 20% of what you put onto the skin is absorbed into your body and in your bloodstream. So you just kind of like feel the muscles start to relax a little bit.
Right.
So it's nice. So a lot of the Aspercream and some of the other ones that you put on, you get that really capsation type feel, the burning or the cooling. Those are what you call a neurointerrupter. So on the top of your skin, you feel that sensation and it's tricking your brain into feeling the sensation instead of the pain anymore.
I didn't know that.
So some of the companies will take and they'll combine the two so that while it's taking time for that to get into the skin and seep into the muscle, you have that sensation that's tricking the brain to feel that while it's working to get that to calm down.
I love this. Yeah. This is great. This is very educational. All right, so tea time again.
Tea time.
When are we going? Because you guys have been kind of testing it out for a while. When's the launch? Is the 18th?
The 18th is our official grand opening.
Okay.
From 4 to 6. 5 will be the ribbon cutting.
Oh, you're having the real deal ribbon cutting thing. Oh, okay.
HD Productions is going to be doing our ribbon cutting. Yay, Heather.
Yeah.
And Heather is so excited. She saw us from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
After Kayla had the holiday market, we started out at the 9th Street Market with her when it was in Flagler, a little craft market. And it's funny because at the holiday market, we started out with potpourri, and then we went to the scent stuff, and we went to the European Village, and we sold more scent stuff. Ended up in the building that we're in now. Marge was great, worked out a deal with us to be able to have that spot. And it just transformed into the scents. And we started adding tea, and people wanted tea while they were there. So we were like, now's the tea shop. And we have that. So we have that now. So Heather is so excited to see how we have grown through the years.
She's grown too.
She has.
She's on fire.
Yeah.
I remember when I first met her, I was like, I love you. Just because she's she's like, in my world, we call her Super Saiyans.
Yeah.
Just like another level up.
Yes. So she's
powerful.
come in and she's done pictures for our grand opening. She's been marketing for us. And she's so excited about this.
Well, too, Jackie, and I've said it a couple times that whenever I see you out in the real world, and you guys are just awesome, man.
Thank
really
you.
cool people.
Thank you.
I love seeing you guys, and I love hugging on you guys, and just I love hearing about what's going on. And also too, what I love most than anything is that once again, you practice what you preach, and it's just cool to see. We've never talked about the dooms and the glooms, but like we as business owners and as families, and we all have our days.
Oh yeah,
definitely. And I like to know, like lately when I have someone on the show that's like a entrepreneur woman, people resonate that. Other women like love that because it's becoming more and more, and Dawn's a hustler too, but it's also it's awesome to see when you see a couple working together, let alone when you see, and I say it because the women are becoming more empowered and becoming more like their voices are being heard. And I love that I'm hope that that's part of the show is I'm giving an opportunity to the knowledge. Yeah, I've said this a few times.
It's a family thing.
It's a family.
Every bit of our family is involved. We've got
is your daughter
5 kids?
Wow, I know. For those that don't know, 5.
Yeah.
I've only met, I think, 1 or 2.
Probably.
I think the one that runs the shop when you're not there, who's a
Morgan.
Sweetheart.
Yeah.
She's like, what is she, 20?
Yep.
She's 20 going on
20.
like 40 though. She's sharp.
Yes.
So she's a sweetheart. So she's running it right now?
Yeah.
Okay. She's running the fort.
Yeah.
She's a gem.
And she has a twin sister.
And she's the younger.
Orlando.
Or no, same age.
Same age.
Okay.
Yeah. She's in Orlando. She works at Disney out on her own.
Okay.
We have a 23-year-old that teaches at Temple University in Pennsylvania. And then my youngest 10 is who brought us to Florida.
Okay.
She was diagnosed with kidney disease when she was 2. They didn't know what to do with her in Virginia. So we were like, all right, we lived in Florida once before. They have some of the best children's hospitals. So let's go.
This is where the show gets pretty cool because I didn't know that. Can we talk about that for a minute? Yeah. I didn't know that's what you guys came here for.
Yeah. Yep.
So
we lived in Orlando for a little while. Before my husband retired, we worked on the road and we did the cell phone tower work.
Okay.
And so we helped with the equipment with that. And we brought us to Florida the first time and we lived in Winter Park. Lived there for a couple of years, got married there and came back up north. That's where his work took him at the time. And lived there for about 2 years, had a baby. And when she was about 2, she ended up in the hospital, really high fever. They thought that she was in kidney failure.
Now, this was your last one, though.
Yes.
So you guys kind of were, I won't say experts, but you're pretty, it didn't take a skin knee anymore, probably for that. Like, if I had my first kid, I would think, like, she's dying. Like, you guys were kind of.
No, we weren't really sure because my son was already like, he was 5 or 6 when we had her. We had tried for a while and couldn't have any. And then all of a sudden we have this baby and it's like, oh my gosh. But it was like, okay, well, what's going on? Oh, it's a normal fever. It's,
how long was she sick for?
She was sick for just a couple days. It was right around Thanksgiving.
So you guys are in Orlando at this time?
At this time, we're back in Virginia.
Virginia.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So you're going like, doctors, I'm sure you're not getting any clarity.
They're like, oh, it's just a virus. Right. Then her temperature spiked to about 104. She hadn't gone to the bathroom in a while, took her to the hospital. They said, we need to admit her. We think she's in kidney failure. Her urine's like almost as dark as your cup. And came back, everything was fine. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with her.
Right? Yeah, because you're like, it's not fine.
Okay. My husband and I both have medical backgrounds, so we were like, okay, this is kind of weird. We'll keep an eye on it. But then it happened again the next month.
Now I don't have a 2-year-old that can't articulate. Can they?
Not really.
Okay. There's just a lot of crying, discomfort.
Yeah, they'll tell you they don't feel good or their tummy hurts but urine symptoms really aren't something that they do. They'll either just hold it or they'll wet themselves. But she didn't have any of those things. It was just the dark colored urine and a fever.
So when you guys finally find out that it's kidney disease?
Yes. So we really didn't know then in Virginia. The University of Virginia was like, well, we're not quite sure what's going on. We're just going to monitor it. And she had a lot of blood and protein in her urine. And it was visible. And I had worked at an urgent care and family practice at the time. And I talked to the pediatrician there. And he was like, no, that's not normal for a kid her age. There's no reason to have protein in her urine. So my husband and I talked, and we were like, you know what? We have Nemours, we have Shands, we have Wolfsons. Let's go. So he started calling around trying to find a specialist that would help, and got a hold of Nemours and Dr. Montenay there. She got right on the phone after he talked to the nurse, and she was like, Poppy, I know what's wrong with her. You need to do whatever you can and get here now.
So she's in Florida? Okay.
Yes, she's at Nemours. She's in the nephrology department. And so the next day we told our landlord, and he was like, I don't care what you have to do. Just find somebody to take over your lease and best of luck.
Wow.
So we did. We showed the house. We found a couple of people to rent out the house from us. We packed everything up and set out the rest and moved.
What's this, 3 years ago, or?
This was...
Or even longer.
Now.
I was going to say,
8.
yeah. This was when you first,
Yeah, when we first moved here.
So you guys just like that for the sake of finding better care. Wow, I didn't know any of this.
Yeah.
So you got here and then...
Yeah, went from there. They told us in the beginning that she would be deaf and blind and need a kidney transplant by the time she was a teenager. So it was crazy. And at that time, we just started scribbling, looking for other answers and reasons. Right. And I went back to school for nutrition and to try to figure things out. The following year, she had a kidney biopsy, found out it wasn't as bad as what they thought it was, which was good.
Right.
But there's still some issues that she's got to work through. She's stable now. I worked very closely with a nutritionist and a scientist overseas to help with her diet. So she's basically diet controlled now. She's great. Wow. Yeah.
So you guys were, once you were able to find an even keel, you guys were already really super peaceful. I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure it can get ruckus behind closed doors, but in general, what I know of you guys, it's like, if you need some peace, go see you guys because you're pretty chill. But I can imagine once you guys found that keel, you were able to start saying, hey, listen, we're going to pursue getting her better by means of as holistic as possible.
Yep.
And you've been able to accomplish that?
Well, we
to
work
some
hand
degree?
in hand. We do a lot of complementary.
Okay.
So we work hand in hand with her doctors as well as with the natural side too.
Okay.
A lot of the healthy foods that you would think would help with her would actually hurt her.
Really?
Yep. So like celery, regular carrots that aren't cooked, spinach.
These are the stereotypical things that they say to take.
Those are say to eat to be healthy in general.
And they were affecting her negatively.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. They're what we call and what she calls crystal foods. They're very high in oxalates. So they will end up causing kidney stones, and she can end up developing those stones anywhere in her body.
Like you're saying heart. This is your daughter using this vernacular.
The little one.
I love her.
She had to grow up very fast. I'm sure.
Yeah. So you're 20-year-old going on 40. She's like 10 going on 30.
She is our mother hen. Yeah.
Well, God bless her, because I mean, she's dealing with, most 8-10-year-olds are dealing with, their toys got lost, and here she is dealing with
her sister
her longevity
in and
already.
Out of the hospital, saying, you know what, whoa, I gotta help.
So this is very powerful, by the way. Thank you for sharing this. It's okay we're talking about, because I had no idea.
Yeah.
But
Bianca and I have come a long way. When she was born, we almost lost her. We lost me. And I think that's kind of what changed our whole outlook on life. We were really corporate, on the go, very materialistic.
Really?
And then when we almost lost her and they lost me, I was in a coma for about 3 days. It just like changed everything. Yeah.
This is where I've already had a lot of love for your family, but this is this was the tipping point for you guys.
Yes.
So I really appreciate you being vulnerable and also saying, because I had dealt with the vanity and the materialistic side. I mean, I think everyone does. It's just a matter of admitting it. Yeah. But when you're making that, as we started to adult, and you're like, okay, who doesn't still want the mega yachts?
Important?
We'll get the mega yachts. But then if you're like, you have to kind of sell when you come to that decision, like, I either have to sell my soul, or I just hope and manifest it at some later point in my life. And I had to make that decision. So you guys had that. I would have never have known. I would have known.
We went from having everything to selling it all off and trying to figure out how to make it work. I mean,
don't you feel like it's more,
crazy.
I don't want to say it's better, because obviously it's what we have, but it's like what I've heard, and I say this a lot to people, like, what you do with a little, you do with a lot.
Yep.
So like if you don't always have that, and your life is contingent on whether it's material or just, even if it's your lifestyle, none of it's yours. Well, I believe that. I believe it's all kind of like a gift.
Yes.
And we as humans take things so for granted so fast.
Yeah.
And I'm not blessed yet with having, like I said, I don't have any kids and stuff yet, but I can imagine when you're already now, like, you know, you're no longer allowed to take, you know, it's not about you anymore. And then your poor kid has an element, let alone you're already hoping for them to have more and bigger things and better life. But it's like, wow. So that was the Kickstarter of saying, okay, we need to reevaluate not only our like tangible life, but more of like our physical, like how we're
what are we doing? What message are we sending? What purpose are we going to be here?
Were you guys like, I call it like typical America? Were you guys your typical Americans consumer where it was like, you weren't really paying attention? It was
not at
just
all.
normal. I think everyone's has that stint.
Gotta have it. Keep up with the Joneses.
Right.
Yeah.
But even diet wise, were you guys always just like
mainstream?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't pay attention to dyes and things.
No.
It's tough. I know it's, you know, they say like, you know how you know when someone does CrossFit is because they tell you it's like one of those things. And sometimes it can work with vegetarians and vegans. Like how do you know when they're that? Because they tell you. I know that could sometimes butcher that holistic natural lifestyle. Someone's like very just beating it. Like you got to do this, you got to do that. Yeah. But I do feel like as long as you're taking care of the 6 inches in front of your own face and your family, which now the ramifications of that, Jackie, you've set this tone for our town that people can seek. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys seem to be the kind of people that as people get to know you, like I have, if I was, for instance, let's say I hadn't figured out a way of dealing with my headaches and I hadn't sought a holistic outlook yet. And I feel like you guys are the kind of people that you would just point me in the right direction, right? Yeah. Like you seem pretty cool
I mean,
about that.
And it's all depends on the person. If you were ready to seek that out and you're like, hey, you know, I've tried all this stuff. What do you suggest? And we'll give some suggestions of what have worked for other people, what have worked for us. But then that's up to the person or up to you on whether they take it or not.
For those that are listening too, I don't have any direct people that I've known that it's affected me negatively with this kidney issue. But because it's so, you guys are, I want to say perfecting it because I'm sure there's growing pains. But you guys seem to probably have a very good rhythm. Would you be fair? Would you open that conversation up if people wanted to come and have a chat with you and say, hey, my sister, brother, daughter, son? I mean, you guys are in it.
Yeah, we're here.
Would you say, without using like physician words, because it's past my pay grade, she's found a balance?
She has. So she knows what she can do and what she can't do. She's still trying to figure out her limits now that she's older because she wants to keep up with the rest of the kids in school.
Right.
But she's good. Yeah.
It's all diet, most of it, I would imagine.
Most of it now is just diet. She goes for a checkup once a year now. She used to be every 3 months. Used to be blood work every 3 months. Now she's down to once a year.
Just like a normal.
Just monitoring, yeah. Yep.
Wow. Well, I'm very proud of you guys.
She just tire out a little bit faster than normal kids.
I'm sure. But if we didn't know what she's able to, her physical activity,
she gets tired out faster. She can't be out in the heat as much. So this time of year she gets grumpy because it's hot.
Right.
But we try to go out in the evening time or first thing in the morning. So sometimes we'll be on the beach like early.
Right.
And then we're in before it starts getting hot. Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah. I really appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah.
And like I said, everyone's has there's always a rhythm why people start a business or a genre or a lifestyle. And I'm sure that had to been like, it's amazing that you guys use that as a point of saying, hey, look.
Yeah. I mean, that was a difference in the outlook on how we changed our point of view on stuff.
Right.
But what really got us into like this whole thing is I lost my job. And my dad was here at the time and he was like, hey, you know, mom and I are crafters up north and we make this potpourri stuff and it smells good and it makes people happy. And that's what started it. And so he taught us how to make it. And that's what we sold at the holiday market with Kayla.
I love it.
And just grew from there. And then Mike Cosmo, he was at the European Village. He was the one that started us over into the natural side. He's passed now.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We lost him last year. And that's where we kind of grew from there. And
So the seed was
just opened us
planted
up.
then.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
for those that know me, and anybody who shares with me that like I just lost my job, or there's obviously there's a season for that, and there's a little bit of some grump, you know, sit in your suck for like a hot minute. But I, being someone who had lost my job too at one point, that's sometimes what like for those that are super just scared, whatever you want to call it, or just being apprehensive, it's kind of sometimes can be a wonderful awakening. And I'm dealing with that more and more. In the last like net 30 days, I've had a handful of people. It's an honor that they would come, call me, sit down with me. And no joke, net 30 days, I've had almost 5 people.
Oh, wow.
And they've come to me and just said, I don't really know what they want, except for maybe a hug and someone to listen to. And I've kind of got my little cheat sheet of what to do because I've been through it. So my cheat sheets are just a lot of hugs, prayers, high fives, maybe a smack on the rear end and be like, you got this.
Yeah.
But it's powerful. It's a wonderful opportunity when you get brought back down to nothing. You know, some of the old sayings, it's so cliche to use, but some quotes in movies, you know, like you're not your job. You're not your clothes.
Yeah.
You're not anything. You're not your friends. You're not your husband, wife.
Definitely.
You're nothing. When your eyes close, like I've had to teach myself this by actually losing it, but I'm prepared. Like if today were my last day, it's taken me forever and I'm still trying to figure it out. But all I've got is you. And I don't sound morbid, but I mean, it's it.
Yeah.
So if you're not at peace by yourself,
right.
I'm not a big believer in the whole, like he or she makes me a better person. My job makes me a better person. Or I don't like that because I just feel like it's not always going to be there.
Right.
And I used to use that dialogue. And when it's not there, it's gone.
Right.
And they're great, but they're kind of added bonuses. Yes. They're like extra ordinary.
Exactly.
And I've had to learn that. But I think you guys found that, right? Through your own trials. And
we have.
I'm glad you shared that.
We've had a lot of ups and downs in our lifetime.
Are you guys in a good season right now? Seems like you're in
It's starting to come back up. We've been doing a lot of shop local campaigning with the opening of the tea company. And we didn't want the focus just to be on us, but on our community.
Right.
Because without the community, we wouldn't be there. So we wanted to open it up and say, you know what? Hey, in celebration of our grand opening, shop local.
Right.
So that's what we've been really pushing. The tea company is a place to come and relax, and our little saying is to sit and sip and enjoy the world a bit. And so that's what we're trying to promote by just coming down and just get a cup of tea, walk around, shop locally, support the families that live here. And that's what we need.
You guys have always been advocates for that.
Yes.
I remember when I first met you, and it's not everybody. It's you know, there are folk out there that are very disconnected. You can taste it. And as I've gotten older in this business world, which is a scary world out here, not just in Flagler, but in general, there's a lot of sharks. There's people that just, there's no validity behind it. It's just set and forget. And it's like they just want that passive income kind of thing. And you guys, when I first met you, you can't deny, for those that are listening that know you and then are going to be wonderful that get to know you, you guys are just like the real deal, man. Yeah. It's good. And I think you guys have a practical, very realistic outlook on life and your business and the town. And I speak for my little area, like from my direct audience and my friends and family. Like we really love you guys.
Thank you.
And we're really proud of you. And
we love our community.
What you guys shared today, that's powerful. You know, and like I said, you have and isn't it ironic? So I've known you as long as I have, and you guys never shared that. Which is
not too often.
No, that's powerful.
Yeah,
though.
It's when it comes up. When somebody asks, you know, hey, well, what brought you here? We'll let that go. Or, you know, how do you have such an outlook on? I've never seen you get upset, or you know, you're such a free flower, and that's why. I mean, I used to be very uptight, get upset about everything, and I've just developed this philosophy after I was almost not here that does it really matter? I mean, if it's not directly affecting my community and my family first, especially, then do I really need to get that upset about it? Do I need to let that into my bubble? You know, but just to create that peace, it's not worth stressing over.
You getting a good night's rest these days?
Sometimes, yeah. You know, it comes along with being an entrepreneur. You got to work that business hard.
I know.
Yeah.
So that's what's funny with the. I don't want to say younger because it doesn't really matter your age, but people that are getting involved in business, and sometimes they say like, I want to have like what you know, you don't do anything, and I'm like,
we've
come on
gotten
in.
that. Oh, you own a business, you
Yeah.
must, you know, you must be sitting pretty.
Come
It's
on
hard
in.
work.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop.
No,
but,
it
I
doesn't.
was
Since we make everything, it's nonstop.
There's always something. It's to me, it's not only like something that's been said for thousands of years prior to me, but like, don't worry about your tomorrow.
Right.
It's not yours.
Right.
And I've been saying the 6 inches in front of your face is really good, because if you take care of that, after you get those 6 inches, which is my opinion, your family and your floor, and not that, like I've had we're getting the dune dummies and all the issues, the people locking the dogs in the car, all my little pet peeves. I've been praying. I'm just like, I do what I can do within the 6 inches. I can't save the world anymore. I can't, I could tell you to stop going to SeaWorld, but you do what you got to do.
That was my biggest thing. Yeah. I'm a Girl Scout leader also. So, that was my biggest thing, was to create that balance of, all right, yes, we want to help save the world. Right. But what can we do for our community first? Yep. What can we do at our school first? What can we do with our family first?
Well, it starts here.
Yeah.
It's been said on like a super viral post before, but I think it was like a general. He was all suited up, but he said, you want to change the world, start by making your bed. Like start in your own. And I think it's just a powerful statement that it means just focus on yourself for a hot minute. Yeah. And then it trickles into all aspects. Don't be so quick to judge somebody. Don't be so quick to, chastise somebody. And I think one of the things that I've been hearing more and more throughout not only the show, but those that I'm sharing my life with, is empathy. Empathy is probably one of the things I'm hoping for the most, because education's happened. Some people are getting smarter and smarter with using, I'm pointing over the TV for those that know, we're using it as the internet, using the internet as means of educating and not just entertainment. Right. There's also a big movement of people, I think, that are just starting to become surrounded by like-minded people. And hopefully those are good people. Yeah. And most importantly, it's the empathy factor. Yeah. Just take a minute to listen to somebody's, and to, whether it's physically or figuratively, like, just love on them. Yeah. And it's powerful. And you guys, you have that. And I think it's really powerful too. I really appreciate you sharing that. Sometimes I've had people assume that I've had that same thing of, oh, you're always so positive and you're so great. That it's taken me forever. Yes. And I say forever because I'm still figuring it out. Yeah. I haven't perfected it, but I was a miserable man. I wasn't even a man, I was a boy. Yeah. I feel like I'm still a little boy. I was so miserable. Just the noise. Yeah.
It's all there, and you've just got it coming at you from all directions. And it's like, okay, something's got to break. Yeah.
But now you guys seem to have,
then start building again.
You realize like life's going to get thrown at you.
Oh yeah.
And then you just got to chill. Yeah. But man, you're one powerful little lady.
Thank you. Really I have a good family behind me.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Well, without their support, it wouldn't be what it is. And the tea company is just another stepping stone to get there.
I think it's so exciting that it's a good season for you guys. I feel once again, it's called energy. I feel some good energy. It's, you guys are, from what I'm seeing, you guys post, and I mean, no joke, you can't walk into your guys' shop with dogs there without feeling. If you don't feel his passion, then you're just you're not alive.
He loves to do the tea tastings. Yeah, it's one of his things. He just will sit there with you for an hour or so. You're not quite sure what you want, but you want to taste some stuff, and he's there. He's more than happy to help you out there.
Well, let's do this. You've been fantastic. I really appreciate this. And July 18th, 5 p.m.
5 p.m. is the ribbon cutting. 4 to 6. There's the grand opening. I'm sure we're going to run over. We've got a lot of people that responded already. We do have quite a few ways to win some of our grand prizes and the drawings. So we have 3 grand prizes, which is a conglomeration of some of the local businesses that have donated, and not only Flagler Beach, but Flagler County, because we do have families in Palm Coast also that are family run and operated. So we want to share the love too, because we know those families. And so by shopping locally with them and checking in with those businesses and then sharing what you got from there, and tagging the tea company, Flagler Tea Company, in there, you get extra entries into those.
Oh, okay.
So by shopping with us, you get a ticket. And then if you use your Savor Flagler card with Tommy, which is our local loyalty discount card, you get another one. But if you shop at a local business and you check in with them and you share what you got from them, it helps expose that business. And then by tagging the tea company, it also exposes the tea company as well. But you get another 5 tickets in there.
Okay.
And if you use your Savor Flagler card, you get another 2. So it's like sharing the love and working together so that people can start associating, hey, these businesses are here. You're supporting those families that live here in your community.
I love that you're bringing light to that, and it's happening more.
Yeah.
For those that are listening, and if you're not a resident of Flagler Beach or a business owner in Palm Coast and or Flagler, we're all like in together. We all know each other. We're all like keeping in touch with each other, and we're all in this thing called life together, and it's very powerful for us. So I preach it, like it's good. Try to keep it local. And there's nothing wrong. You got to get something at Walmart. You got to get something at Walmart.
Yeah.
We understand. People.
Oh yeah.
We're not,
Definitely.
we get it. But just try to support.
Yeah. Even if it's just coming in and snapping a photo and saying, hey, I met saw this great little place. And if you haven't been there, just check it out. Not necessarily just buying something, but
soap.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely.
So let's do this. I have the Facebook's things linked in the bio now, but I think it goes without saying, anybody that wants to just get to know you guys, stop by that shop.
Just stop in, have a smell around, taste some tea. If you can't have caffeine, we've got lots of stuff that does not have caffeine at all. It's naturally no caffeine. We have quite a selection of fruit ones right now.
Do you really? I didn't know you had 40.
Yes. And we may have more now because
John's like, we had more. He's texting you right now.
We just got in the watermelon. That is really good. I've been mixing that with our Moroccan mint, which is a spearmint with gunpowder green. And we got to get some lime because it tastes almost like a mojito, watermelon mojito. And we have a limited quantity. I think we have enough for a couple more cups of our blackberry sage oolong, which has been a big hit. So we may be getting some more of that one. So,
just hearing you talk about it is like exciting because you're so.
Oh my goodness. Yes. The dragon fruit, we sold out of that yesterday. Wow. We refilled the containers for today and did an extra one that has been really popular. Then we have a turmeric delight that has turmeric and ginger in it. Peach.
Turmeric is like all up, when you hear, it's like, there's probably some kind of cool name psychologically speaking, but you hear that one thing and you see it all because now you're aware of it. Turmeric has been.
Yeah, it's like a buzzword, man.
It's helping though. I'm on that turmeric and pepper, that black pepper for inflammation. Yeah. I don't want to get preachy, people, but listen, man,
there's something in it that makes it work.
Something's going on. Yeah. Big fan of the turmeric right now. I'm all up in it. But that's awesome. Yeah. We did it.
Yes.
Look, see how fast it goes. Anything else you can think of? I mean,
nope. Other than just coming in. Oh, Saturdays. Every Saturday we have 99-cent house tea. Okay. Either sweet or unsweet. Just come in and explore. Yeah.
I love it. Yes. Thank you for coming. Awesome. We did it.
Cool.
Bam. I had no idea.